Welcome to Funimation 3D. An entire kingdom was losing its light, its magic, and its hope. And every warrior was too afraid to save it. Every warrior except one. But to win, he would have to cross a mountain that screamed, a forest that lied, and face a monster no one had ever defeated. This is the story of the warrior who never gave up. Long ago, beyond the golden hills and silver rivers, there was a shining kingdom called Solara. By day, its towers glowed like sunrise. By night, its streets sparkled under the warm light of the heart flame, a magical fire that protected the land and kept darkness away. But one terrible evening, the heart flame began to fade. Its golden light shrank. The sky turned gray. Cold wind rushed through the city. Flowers bent low. Children huddled close to their families. Even the birds stopped singing. If the heart flame went out, Solara would lose more than light. Its rivers would freeze, its fields would fail, its magic would vanish. The kingdom would fall into endless shadow. In the great hall, the wise elder raised a silver staff and spoke with a trembling voice. Only the star crystal can relight the heart flame, but it lies far beyond the roaring mountain, past the forest of mirrors, inside the cave of echoes, and it is guarded by the shadow beast. The room fell silent. Strong warriors looked at the floor. Brave captains stepped back. No one moved. Then a voice broke the silence. "I'll go." It was Kael. Kael was young. He was not the tallest warrior. He was not the strongest. His armor was scratched. His boots were dusty. But his eyes were steady, and his heart was fierce. A tiny glowing fox leaped onto his shoulder. Her fur shimmered like moonlight, and her tail flickered like a lantern flame. "That means we'll go," she said. This was Luma, Kael's best friend. The elder looked at them both and said, "This journey will test your strength, your mind, and your heart." Kael nodded. "Then I'll keep going until the end." At dawn, Kael and Luma left Solara. The city behind them looked dim and quiet. Kael turned back only once. He saw children peeking from windows. He saw the fading glow above the palace. He clenched his fist and whispered, "I'm coming back with the crystal." The journey began with thunder. Boom, boom, boom. Ahead of them rose the roaring mountain, tall and jagged, with stone cliffs like giant teeth. Every few moments, it let out a deep rumble that rolled across the sky. Luma flattened her ears. Mountains are not supposed to growl. "No," Kael said quietly. "They're not." They climbed higher and higher. Wind slammed into them. Loose rocks bounced past their feet. Strange voices echoed around them. "Turn back. Go home. You are too late." Kael kept climbing. Then suddenly, the ledge beneath him cracked. "Kael!" Luma cried. The rock broke apart, and Kael slipped. He tumbled down the slope, crashing into stones, scraping his arms, nearly falling into a deep ravine. At the last second, Luma darted forward, grabbed the strap of his shield with her teeth, and pulled with all her tiny strength. Kael slammed into a rock and stopped just inches from the edge. For a moment, neither of them moved. Then Luma puffed out her chest and said, "I am very small, but I am also very heroic." Kael laughed, even though his hands were shaking. "You saved me!" But when he tried to stand, pain shot through his leg. He looked down the mountain. The climb ahead was steeper. The sky above was darker. He was tired already. Have you ever felt like quitting when you had barely begun? Kael closed his eyes. He thought of Solara growing colder by the minute. He thought of the promise he made. Then he pushed himself up. "One step," he said. Luma nodded. Then another. And together, step by step, they reached the summit. At the top stood an ancient stone door covered in glowing symbols. In its center was the shape of a flame. Kael touched it. The mountain gave one last great roar. Then the door slowly opened. On the other side was the forest of mirrors. Silver trees stretched in every direction. Their leaves shimmered like glass. Reflective pools covered the ground. Every branch, every puddle, every polished stone showed strange images. At first, Kael saw himself as a mighty hero, tall and shining. Then the image changed. He saw himself fail. He saw the heart flame go dark. He saw Solara covered in shadow. Luma's reflection flickered too. In one mirror, she was bright and brave. In another, she was gone completely. "What if these are true?" Kael whispered. The forest answered with whispering voices. "You are too weak. You will lose. You will be alone." Kael's breathing grew fast. The mirrors showed his worst fears again and again. One even showed Luma disappearing into darkness. "Kael," Luma said softly, her glow trembling. "Look at me. Not the mirrors. Me." He turned. She was still there. Small, bright, real. "The mirrors show fear," she said. "Not truth." Kael took a breath, then another. He lowered his sword. "You can whisper all you want," he said to the forest. "I'm still moving!" And with Luma lighting the path, they walked forward together. The whispers grew louder, then weaker still. At last, the trees parted. Beyond them blazed the final path, the blazing river. It churned like melted fire beneath a narrow black bridge. Smoke curled into the darkening sky. On the far side stood the Cave of Echoes, huge and silent. And in front of the cave, two golden eyes opened. The shadow beast stepped into the light. It was enormous. Its fur was dark as midnight, but silver patterns glowed faintly across its body, like stars hidden in the night sky. Its claws gripped the stone. Its tail moved slowly behind it. It looked powerful enough to crush a boulder with one step, but the strangest thing was this. It did not attack. It simply watched. Luma whispered, "That's no ordinary monster." Kael stepped onto the bridge. The beast growled. The sound shook the air. He took another step. The bridge cracked. Heat rose from the river. Smoke stung his eyes. The beast moved forward at last, slow and silent, blocking the entrance to the cave. Kael lifted his sword, but his arms felt heavy. He was exhausted, bruised, and afraid. The beast lunged. Kael raised his shield. Crash! The hit sent him sliding backward across the bridge. Again the beast came. Again Kael blocked. Each strike pushed him closer to the edge. His shield cracked down the middle. His sword slipped from his hand and clattered across the stone. Luma flew down and tugged at his sleeve. "Kael, wait!" The beast stopped. Its glowing eyes were focused not on Kael's weapon, but on the blue stone hanging around his neck. The stone from his mother. It was glowing. Kael stared at it, confused. Then he remembered the old stories. Guardians of ancient magic did not attack the selfish. They tested the worthy. The shadow beast was not protecting treasure from heroes. It was protecting magic from the wrong heart. Kael slowly stood. He did not grab his sword. Instead, he placed one hand over the glowing stone and said, "I did not come for power. I came to save my people." The beast's ears lifted. Kael took a careful step forward. "My kingdom is losing its light. Children are cold. The heart flame is fading. I am afraid. I am tired, but I will not turn back." The cave echoed his words. "I will not turn back." For one long moment, the world held its breath. Then the shadow beast bowed its head. Luma gasped. "It chose you." The beast stepped aside. Kael entered the Cave of Echoes with Luma lighting the way. Deep inside, resting on a pedestal of white stone, was the star crystal. It glowed with silver, gold, and blue light, brighter than the moon, warmer than sunrise. Kael lifted it carefully. At once, the cave blazed with light. The roaring of the mountain stopped. The mirrors in the forest turned clear. The river's fire softened into shimmering gold. Kael and Luma ran home through a land that seemed to wake up behind them. When they reached Solara, the heart flame was almost gone. The people gathered in silence. Kael climbed the steps and placed the star crystal into the sacred fire. For one heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, whoosh! A tower of golden light burst into the sky. Warmth swept across the kingdom. The clouds split apart. Flowers opened. Rivers sparkled. The people cheered with joy so loudly that the towers rang like bells. The light shone on Kael and Luma, and for the first time, Kael understood something important. A true warrior is not the one who never falls. A true warrior is the one who rises every time. He was never the biggest, never the strongest, but when fear whispered, he listened to hope instead. When the path broke, he kept climbing. When the shadows tested his heart, he chose courage. And that is why he won. Not with power, not with pride, but with heart. From that day on, the people of Solera told the story of the warrior who never gave up, and the tiny glowing fox who helped light the way. So remember this: being brave does not mean you are never scared. It means you keep going, even when your knees shake, even when the path is hard, even when the dark feels big. Because sometimes, the heroes who change the world are the ones who simply refuse to stop. Thanks for joining this legendary adventure on Funimation 3D. If you enjoyed the story of the warrior who never gave up, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Funimation 3D for more amazing adventures. See you in the next video.